Hey there guys, today's going to be a simple video. I'm just going to be disassembling my HKS blow-off valve to super sequential 4 or whatever. I'm kind of just doing this for a little bit of kicks and gigs. I just want to see that everything's working correctly. I probably don't recommend taking it apart yourself. I'll let you know at the end of the video how it goes. But yeah, we're just going to do a quick walkthrough and hopefully everything goes smoothly. This is an HKS super sequential 4 blow-off valve. There are many out there that look like this and are fakes. As far as I know, when I bought this piece years ago, it's a genuine piece that has held up well enough. HKS blow-off valves usually feature some sort of 3-fin fitting at the port for that signature super sequential sound. There are different fin fittings out there to give you different desired sounds. Since mine is recirculated back into the intake, I've replaced the fins with a recirculating adapter. One thing you used to be able to look for when spotting a genuine HKS blow-off valve was short capped nuts on the back of the unit, as well as a holographic-like shine to the rear-mounted logo. If all you want to do is disassemble the unit to swap fin fittings or add a recirculating fitting, all you need to remove are the 4 2.5mm socket head bolts that seem to be raised slightly higher than the other bolts up front. Once everything is disassembled, you can see the piston much clearer. Here's a shot of the inner machining of my fitting retainer in case you might want to compare it to your own. After you replace the fitting, you can reassemble everything as it was, but I'm going to continue diving into the belly of the beast. The rear case of the blow-off valve is fixed into place with 12 5.5mm capped hex nuts with 2.5 socket bolts on the other side. I removed each of these slowly in a star-crossed pattern just in case not doing so would potentially crack something. Once I removed the rear cover, I found the spring inside that pushes the piston back to a closed position after releasing pressure from the charge system. I don't believe there's much to do in the way of adjustability besides perhaps changing the spring to a weaker or stronger setup, but I don't recommend fiddling with that as HKS has likely put the specific spring in here for a reason. After playing around with the piston system, I decided to remove the top 2 bolts of the unit, which allowed me to remove what seemed to be more or less of an ornamental add-on. If you have a keen eye, you'll see that the piston is actually divided into 2 separate parts. One being the actual shaft from the red bullet-like tip to the rear of the unit, which is attached to the diaphragm, and 2 being a large embossed metal ring sitting on top of the red pointed end. With the piston at a closed position, the shaft compresses the ring and the inner point together against the large rubber washer to create a sealed system. When vacuum pressure at the diaphragm pulls the shaft back, only the red pointed tip retracts for a brief moment while the outer ring remains in place. Only after the shaft has retracted a few millimeters does the outer ring follow suit to release the remainder of the pressurized air in the charge system. At first I was concerned that the unit had failed, but after doing some research, it turns out that the blow-off valve functions like this to help give it its unique sound. This unique piston system combined with a tri-pronged fitting is what gives us that signature whistling whoosh that we all know and love. This is as comfortable as I am with disassembling the small piece of Japanese engineering, so I'm going to go ahead and reassemble everything. Once I finish doing that, I'm going to test the diaphragm on the back with a small vacuum pump kit to see if the system will hold vacuum. Mine seems to hold with no issues, so I think she's ready to put back into the car. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this little video. I finally got the blow-off valve back installed onto Stella. I was a little worried about that little play with the red kind of rod in there being separate from the round metal washer inside the blow-off valve, but I think that's just to help it release pressure, so I'm not going to be too worried about it. If you guys think differently, make sure to let me know in the comments below, but I'm gonna say it's still a good blow-off valve. It's quality stuff. Anyways, if you guys learned anything, be sure to leave a like, let me know what you think down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.